Hi guys, giant.T here for a very long awaited battle and battle report. It's still 1.1 version league. As a group we all decided to stick with that as we're halfway through, just due to some of the lists not being able to perform as how we're playing, so in matter of fairness we stuck with that. I'm playing Warriors of Dark Gods tonight, so I'm going to start on my opponent's left. He's got a unit of 10 knights with his general in it somewhere.
Yeah,
this one here. Yeah. What's he got, mate, again?
Sorry?
What's he got?
Wrath Priest.
His Wrath Priest, nice.
Once chosen left.
3 chosen dudes, all skirmishing.
Hellriders.
Thank you very much. Hellriders there, and they've got the whips. They've actually vanguarded, they were here. So vanguarded forwards, we've got some hounds and some of the barbarian riders. We've got a big unit of chosen warriors there.
BSB, yeah.
BSB, this one, is it?
Yeah, in the corner.
This dude is your BSB. Shrine. And then a big unit of 30 true warriors. And then the dogs, the hounds again here, who were vanguarded to go after the rangers. So with my rangers, you all got to know this list by now. So I've got rangers with my engineer in it. 14 miners to come on again. I've got attack copter, this is going from my right. Grudge buster, vanguarded greybeards in the forest there. They've got crossbows, sorry, they've got throwing weapons and great weapons. 12 marksmen, 2 vengeance seekers on the hill. Sorry God, I'm playing well, I keep forgetting the names. 12 seekers here, skirmished, 13 marksmen, 12 forge wardens, and he's got a slayer rocket on him, flame copter, bombing copter. We've got a classic deployment, and for the scenario it's number 1, so it's just the flag in the middle. Dwarves get first turn, and we'll see you in a minute. Right guys, Dwarven movement. Rangers have stayed where they are. This attack copter's come up here to try and get line of sight of the hounds behind the building. I think I could clip the last 3, but we'll double check in a minute. 2 grudge busters have come up the table. They've stayed where they are. All these have stayed where they are. So is this dude. Sorry, this unit here. Forge wardens have come up to the hedge of the forest or the fence. This copter's jumped over, this copter's just come behind, and that's it for movement. We're going to go into Dwarven Holds magic. Right guys, so magic and shooting together, this is really 2 quick turns. Magic didn't really do anything, just to roll some dice to try to get over some resilience off on these guys. My opponent dispelled it. And as for shooting, wow. Slightly messed up on my rangers a little bit, but still managed to kill a couple of dogs. Fantastic, go dwarfs. They shot at them, missed. They shot at them, killed 2. They failed the first panic check but managed to re-roll on the second. 2 crossbow units fired at the war shrine and done a wound. These 2 grudge busters did a wound here but managed to save on his ward. The attack copter killed a dog, and just to try and pop off the war shrine, the engineer went for this unit here and missed. That's everything. We're going into Warriors of Dark Gods turn 1. Alright guys, so Warriors of the Dark Gods. The hounds have just moved back a couple of inches, and in true form they've all just run down the table as quick as they can. Hell Riders, is it now? Hell Riders, they've come from about here and they've shimmied across to come over to deal with the rangers in the next turn. They've stayed where they are?
No, they're just moving.
Oh, they've just moved in the forest a bit. They've
basically
stayed where they are. These guys have come forward from here. The big boss unit has just ran down the flank to start charging down, so I've got to do something now. My turn. So, you know guys, I don't know if you can see this in the picture, there's some awesome painting jobs going on here.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely awesome. There you go. So yeah, quick overview, and then we're going to get on to Warrior's magic phase. Right guys, quite a good magic phase for the Warriors of Dark Gods. Rolled box cart, so double 6. He put a fireball into the Dragon Seeker, and yeah, I dispelled it. Magic missile, was it pink fire into that one? Absolutely whooped my ass. That
no, it was blue fire.
Oh, was it blue fire? Sorry, yeah. Blue fire on the second spell. Tried to dispel it, but no, I didn't. I let it through. It's just such a random spell. You don't know what's going to go on. And he annihilated me like 6 wounds. And then he did the transformation from the shrine onto the second seeker, and I dispelled that. And then he put the line template, which is Jet Flame, through here, which I dispelled. Sorry, which I scrolled because I don't really want this guy panicking off so early. So yeah, that's magic. No shooting for them. No combat. Straight onto Dwarf's turn 2. So I stand correct, guys. I was shooting these guys hiding in the woods here. Only 3 of them remained. Shot at the marksman, killed 1, and the whip's already 8-inch, so nothing in range there. So now we're going to go into Dwarf's turn 2. Okay, guys. So Dwarven charge. He sees both the Grudge Busters going into his warrior unit. The Seeker tried to get a charge and then and rolled a fantastic 4 on the dice. This dude's coming here, passes dangerous terrain test on the charge. Now just for normal movement, these move 3 inches here to get a shot off them, whatever they want to. He's just marched behind here. They've stayed, the Seekers have stayed here, they've stayed where they are. They've stayed in the forest for now, and they've just moved up 3 inches, and this copter's marched. I've also got my miners on at the back, and they didn't move. So we're going to go into magic, guys. Right guys, Dwarven magic. I've got the Rune of Oaths off on this to make him stubborn in case he takes a few wounds. I tried to get Resilience, which is the spell I really wanted off, but my opponent dispelled that. Going into shooting, these rangers shot at the shrine, caused no wounds. Marksman shot at the shrine, caused no wounds. These Forge Wardens shot at these dudes. Was it 1 wound on your flails?
Yeah.
Yeah, just 1 wound on these guys. And the miners took out the Hell Riders at the back. They're immune to psych, they're in combat, and they passed their panic test. So we're going on to combat, guys. Right, combat here, guys. Real pillar fight. No hits on either side, but the Dwarfs win by a charge, and they get their leadership 4 with a reroll on the first roll of the dice. They stay around. This battle here, the Grudge Buster took 3 wounds from the great weapons, and the unit actually took like 11-12 wounds, I think. They stuck around on their stubborn roll. Sorry, their steadfast roll. So yeah, it's quite nice. Cut that down. That stays where it is. No more combat, and we're going into Warriors of Dark Gods turn 2. Warriors of Dark Gods charges, guys. Sees the I keep wanting to call them fallen. Is fallen, isn't it?
No, once chosen.
Once chosen. Sorry, into the copter there. Right, so these guys. So I had to look for them. Charged. No,
chosen charge first.
Chosen charged these guys who fled, and we made a good run in there. And these guys charged them, so we had to flee. So they got a failed charge. They ran through the forest, caused 3 dangerous terrain wounds to themselves, ended up panicking, and ended up down here. And we'll find through these 2 units. So that's where they've ended up. So it's a bit confusion there for that one. And the chosen just ended up here. Did they take dangerous terrain for these ones?
Infantry.
They're infantry, that's correct. So that's that for the charges. There's no more there. The knights have come zipping all the way down here, as my friend said, very, very slow moving knights. I think not. The hounds have just turned to come and face the miners, as is this, so the shrine, and that's all the movement for the Warriors of Dark Gods. So we're going to go into their magic phase, guys, okay? We'll see in a bit. Okay guys, so magic here, we've got blue fire onto the Vengeance Seeker from here. It causes 1 wound and his attribute doesn't do anything. We tried to put
shrine.
Dispelled the shrine onto the miners, and then tried to get the pink fire off on this dude to get the breath weapon, but failed to go off. So that's all of the magic. There's no shooting for this this turn again, so it's straight into combat, guys. Okay guys, so combat here sees an absolute annihilation of the copter, and these guys just turn to face. Here the 2 grudge busters again opening the can of worms and whoop ass, kill 8 dudes here. I'll lose 1 in the flank. I need to kill 1 more to break the steadfast, but you know, it is what it is. So hopefully in my turn I should be able to break them. And that's all the combat, innit? That's all the combat. Just give me a quick overview, guys. From the right flank into the centre, onto the left, and back down again. So going into Dwarven Holds turn 3. Right, so Dwarven Holds turn 3 movement. Rangers have stayed where they are. This copter stayed where they are. The only charge I had was the Greybeards into the units here to try and help me out a little bit. These guys have stayed where they are. Seekers are... So this Seeker went to do a march move but failed his march test by here and just moved 3 inches there. These guys passed and moved way up here out of line of sight of anything. These guys just in a swift reform and shimmy up to shoot her here. This pain in the ass, I've just put these down to slow it down a little bit, you know, try and tie up the road a little bit, see what happens there. So yeah, so that's, oh, and the miners at the back have stayed where they are as well. So that's Dwarven Holds movement, guys. We're going to go into magic. Right guys, so dwarfs, magic and shooting. So we managed to get the Rune of Oaths off on the Greybeards there. Tried to get the Rune of Relentless off on this one, but he's scrolled X, so we reckon the unit's dead. As for shooting, the miners, the rangers, the copter and the marksman all shot at the shrine and took it down to 1 wound remaining, so I'm pretty happy with that, especially if I'm hitting on like 5s with all the units there. These guys shot in here, needing 6s and killed a model outright, so happy with that. And that's it for magic and shooting, guys. Okay, so we're just going to go into combat then. Right guys, so the early combat here saw an absolute annihilation for the warriors. But saying that, you know, they managed to get away just by 1 inch. So that's how they've ended up there. And the Greybeards have turned to face the centre of the table. So that's it for the combat, guys. We're going to go into Warriors of the Dark Gods turn 3. Right guys, so in Warriors turn 3, we saw a charge coming in here and I standing shot caused the wound, but they managed to save it. Same with this unit, standing shot caused the wound, managed to save it. They've moved up to tie up the Vengeance Seeker. They've come into the forest and we think we're just out of line of sight there, pretty sure they are. These guys failed to rally and ran like 6 inches. These guys have come up here to...
Shrine.
Huh?
Kill the shrine.
Oh yeah, I did, didn't I? Yeah. Dogs have moved up here. The shrine did a charge and a stand and shoot reaction. I managed to kill it off in the last wound. It was like 3 hits, 3 wounds, 4 hits, 3 wounds, something like that, and killed it outright. These guys passed the rally test. and moved up to get a shot against the Vengeance Seeker. And that's how it's looking. We're going into magic, guys. So the choice of not taking any magic, doesn't want to risk any potential miscast or imagines that right. Going to shooting, they shot at the Vengeance Seeker, got 2 6s to hit him but failed to wound. That's it for magic and shooting, and let's go on to the less said about these two combats, I think the better. But we'll go on to that anyway, guys. Right, see in a bit. Right, guys, combat saw the annihilation of the copter and then the fantastic overrun of his 2 6s and a 5 into the marksman. Stood no chance there. Bit of a controversial combat here. Obviously, the flame water, the forge one's up against the building. Being impassable, you can't go through it. So what we've done is that he nailed me in combat. I only killed one of him. I rolled 8 inches to flee. He's rolled 4 inches to flee. So I've got away. But what we've actually agreed on is he's backed up an inch and I just stay against the building fleeing. Not being able to do much. Now, I know it's 1.1, guys, but we're not sure if that's right.
Probably not.
No, we don't think it's right, but we're going to leave it like that for now. And then if it's any different, I'll let you know at the end of the video if we can find it then. Or if you guys know and you want to comment on a 1.1 game, hit the comments below and it'd be much appreciated. Thank you very much. Right, charges then, guys. Sees the Vengeance Seeker here charging into the hounds, nice and easy. Up in this top right hand corner, the Rangers charged the warriors who fled. The Grudge Buster charged the warriors who were already fleeing and had to flee again, and the Rangers then actually caught them out in the after they charged, after all the charges were complete. That's all the charges, and we'll go on to movement. That's it for charges. These guys come down 9, they've moved 9, they've just swift reformed, moved back a little bit in range of that. These guys are swift reformed to shoot off some points. They've just reformed so they're facing that way, ready for an onslaught, so they can't actually move anywhere after they've rallied, and they're dead. And this guy's just moved forward like 3 inches to shoot at these. So we go into Magic, boys. Right, Magic saw Rune of Oaths going off in here, just within the 12 inches on the range. Don't really need it, but just in case they get into them somehow. Went for Rune of Resilience of these. It's got dispelled massively. So that's that. Shooting here, took off the last 2 Barbarian Riders. They shot at these and missed, and that's it, guys. So we're going to go into combat. Oh, these can't shoot because they've all marched and charged and stuff, and these are rallied and they're in combat. Right, guys, so combat here with the Vengeance Seeker and the Hounds. Yeah, the Hounds got annihilated. So the fight here with the Night Bus and the Uber General, they absolutely smashed the crossbowmen to bits, killing like 5 or 6 or 7, 5 or 6, one of them. I did 1 wound back, he saved it. Auto break, run 11, failed to catch me. Run 11, failed to catch me.
What I said about slow nights?
Yeah, slow nights, yeah, fast dwarfs. So that's what that looks like there. So we're going to go into dwarfs turn 5, guys, okay? Oh no, sorry.
No, my turn 4.
Your turn 4, yeah, sorry. Right, guys, so they've charged into the front of the Flame Wardens again in the really controversial fight there, combat. These guys have just come down here to mess around with the Seekers. Nothing's happened in this flank, and the Knight's bus just moved up from here to here. That is all his movement. There's no rallying, there's no nothing else. That's it, guys. Going on to his magic. Right, so in the magic phase, guys, he casts pink fire for the breath weapon on these. He rolls a load, I couldn't dispel it, and then he puts his breath weapon onto the Avenging Seeker here, only causing 2 wounds, and me failing both my ward saves. So we're going into combat. Right, so in the combat here, yeah, they absolutely annihilated the Flame Wardens, thankfully. Neither of us were a big fan of that in combat, really, were we? So, like I said, a bit unfortunate, that one. But yeah, managed to reform like that. So we're going into Dwarfs turn 5.
Get the lead now.
Right, guys, so charge for the Dwarfs is the Dragon Seeker coming out of the unit into 2 Monstrous Infantry there. Monstrous Infantry? Fantastic, even better. Everything else is just backed off. These 2 have come into shooting range. I think. Yeah, they've come to shooting range. That's just stayed where it is to shoot at these. That's just rallied and reformed to face like so. That is everything. So I'm now going to do some magic and we'll get back to you. Okay, Dwarven Holds turn 5, magic and shooting. Sees no magic because everything I want to do is just way too out of the way here. Shooting saw no wounds at all. I think I only saw like 2 hits. So we're going on to combat, guys. Right, guys. So the combat with the Dragon Slayer and the Chosen dudes. But the Rune of Quickening and the Rune of Penetration and the Monster Hunt, they just absolutely annihilated the unit and managed to overrun 11 inches out of the line of sight of everything. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, okay.
So that's Dwarven Holds turn 5 done. This is what the table looks like, guys. It looks just looking a bit like a Mexican standoff, really. With that there, and we're going on to Warriors turn 5. Alright, guys, so no charges for turn 5 Warriors of Dark Gods, just movements, and they've just shimmered up a bit. Are you within 6 of the objective there?
Yeah.
No, so not within 6. I am within 6 here, so at the moment I'm winning the objective, but I've still got a turn each left to go. So yeah, that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like at the moment, guys. Alright, guys. So magic saw him casting blue fire onto the Seekers. I let him have it. He caused like 2 wounds. I failed both my saves, and Hellfire finished off another one. Tried to get pink fire off a breath weapon, but I dispelled that with authority. So we're going on to Dwarfs turn 6. Right, guys, so after a long deliberation about how to move my units around, I don't think I can draw this game, well, win or draw this game, to be honest. It's looking, I think we're quite even on points at the moment, so it's just playing for scenario now. So anyway, I brought the Seekers up to here to try and block, and hopefully there'll be one left in his turn, so he won't be able to go anywhere. I brought this dude down here to try and play around with the Knights. They failed their march test, so they just shimmied forward 3 inches to try and shoot one off the back if they can. They've marched to here, which is out of line of sight, but we're within 6 inches there. They've stayed where they are. They've moved into the building, and he stayed where he is. And the Dragon Seeker, guys, I'm just going to yeah, leave him where he is. This is my turn 6, there's no point in moving him, he's safe. So that's that. I want to go into with some magic if I can. Right, so an absolutely appalling shooting phase, but before that we actually managed to get resilience off on the Seekers for when they get into combat, which is not too shabby. Tried to get stubborn off on this guy in case he had 1 wound left in combat, which is unlikely, but these things do happen in these games. Right, no wounds or hits. I think I had like 1 or 2 hits actually out of all of my shooting, but no wounds whatsoever. So there's no combat, so we're going to go on to Warriors of turn 6. Okay, so charges sees them chosen into the Seekers, the Knights into the Copter. That's it for all charges and movement. We're going to go into magic, guys.
I need to go to the toilet.
So no magic, no shooting, guys. We're going to go straight into combat for the game. Right, guys, coming to the end of the battle. Yeah, in combat, the Knights annihilated the Copter, sorry, and ran them down. Didn't make the overrun. The chosen that were there, that have just been put away, annihilated the Seekers. They only took like 1 wound back, I think, out of all the attacks, and just reformed and managed to get in on the scenario points. But it was a victory to the Dwarves, so free scenario, 3 banners to 2. Total score being 16-4 to the Dwarven Holds. Really hard fought game. My MVP, I think, had to be the Grudgebusters. Or no, actually, I'm going to go for just because I love him, the Dragon Slayer. But for points wise, yeah, it will be the Grudgebusters. Love it for the fluff, but for the points. Yours, Knights?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, because they just ran through. And yeah, they've done exactly what they need to do. Run through everything they've touched.
A bit too slow.
Bit too slow. But strength 7 on the charge, so it doesn't matter. So yeah, really hard fought game, guys. So I'll get this up as quick as I can. And thanks for watching.